your tray tables up and your seat in the full upright position, because this is the Flight Plan, the official podcast to Big Guy for You Scanlations, Japan's #1 Bane posting manga scanlation podcast. Join the flight crew, Tom and Aiden, as we rant about all the anime, all the manga, and all that scanlation content. What are we talking about today, Tom?
Well, I think it's been a couple weeks now that I've had something stupid prepared in advance, but this week I'm bucking that trend here. Magical girls is what we're talking about, but not the kind of magical girl that comes to mind. I'm talking about like the Harry Potter anime equivalent kind of magic, like witches and such, not like transforming cardcaptor whatevers. But as is tradition, let's do some top of the show stuff first, shall we?
I was going to say, well, you know who's got a spell cast on them is all of our lovely passengers. They're just showering us with affection and praise this week and last week. We've got Carlos coming in who says, now this is the content I subscribe for.
I think we've gotten that before. Are you sure you're not rereading?
Well, I could be, but I also like to think that he just says it every week.
Okay.
We also have Reptilian Shapeshifter come in and say, what show is this? And this is on our video of best school uniforms in anime. And if you don't remember, this is the Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor.
Is that the one where they have like the garter belts and stuff?
Oh my god, it's like pure eroticism. It's like you couldn't draw something that's more, unless you were just like completely naked or in a succubus female outfit. Like there's nothing that you could do that's like more erotic than that. Can you imagine like if you had to go to school, all the dudes are in like normal outfits.
Imagine the poor teachers too.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy is like a delinquent himself. He's the teacher, and he's just coming in because he was such a crazy assassin or something, a mage killer, that they wanted to bring him in to teach defense against the dark arts. You know, I didn't even think about this when we were doing show notes, but that would have been a fantastic one to say. And the magic girls, because I think they're magic.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Like that show's never on my record until somebody brings up like, you know, their uniforms. That's like almost literally the only thing I know about it.
And we also had another comment today. I was just going through the grocery store the other day, and somebody came up to me and they're like, "Oh my god, are you? Oh my god, I can't believe this. Are you Aiden from the Flight Plan?" And I was like, "Young lad, yes, I am." It's like, what can I do for you this fine day? Oh my god, Aiden, I'm so nervous. I don't know what to say. And I was like, oh, don't worry, young lad. Someday you too will garner such praise from all internets, the internet accolades that you will achieve in life. I'm sure you will make your parents proud. And he was tearing up. His mom was tearing up. She's like, he's so happy. You've made his day. And I was like, oh, you know, I'll do what I can. I signed their ham, and then I let them go through I went through the self-checkout, and they went to the 15 items or less thing, because they were just buying some ham.
You did the autistic thing where you can't talk to a human, so you have to do the robot.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I actually like going to the normal cashiers a little bit better, because then they bag it all, they weigh it. If I have vegetables that I have to like punch in a code and weigh, nah, I'm gonna let them do it. I'm not gonna mess around with that. That's for pay the same amount to do their job, nah. And then it also depends on who the cashier is. Like, if there's a big line, I'll go to the self-checkout. But if there's not a big line and people just, and there's only maybe one other person in line, I'll go stand in line. I'll go chat up the baggers and the cashiers just there. You know, they like to have human connections as well, even though if it's in the latter part of their shift, they might be tired from them. But, you know, I think I'm charming enough, and they're like, oh my God, are you Aiden from the Flight Plan? And I was like, yes, I am. Thank you for bagging my groceries. And they're like, how's Tom doing? And I was like, oh, Tom's doing great. You know Tom. And he's like, classic Tom.
And that bagger, Albert Einstein.
And the entire grocery store clapped.
I believe it. Every word of it. I believe it. But since we're off topic, I do want to throw in my 2 cents about the baggers. The main reason, the main appeal, I think, of the robot checkouts, the self-checkouts, is that if you're buying nothing but absolute trash and garbage, you don't have to have another human silently judge you as they scan all of your all of your food purchases.
I used to think like that. There are so many people that go through the normal self-checkout line with just pure garbage. Like, and I'm like, how do you do that with a straight face?
Yeah, but they get judged.
Yeah, I know, but they seem happy enough that they don't, maybe they're depressed enough that they don't care what the
No. See, some people have no shame. I think that's what it is. And I am shame incarnate. Like, I am pure shame. So I definitely can't pull a maneuver like that.
It's shameful just looking at you.
Some might say, yeah. Speaking of being shamed, I'm guessing that's it for the comments. So I'm going to segue to my top of the show thing.
This is a Sudoku. Are you gonna promote your shame?
No, I'm saying that you shamed me last episode. This is a direct attack, a shot across the bow, I think, as it were. I'm starting a new hashtag campaign. Hashtag Don't Silence Tom, because last week my audio level was really quiet compared to yours, and I felt like I had to raise the volume whenever I was speaking and lower it whenever you were speaking. And I think that's a intentional slight against me.
It's persuasion. I'm a trained hypnotist, so I'm hypnotizing the passengers into come over to hashtag Team Aiden.
Right, yeah. Well, that's why I'm starting hashtag Don't Silence Tom.
See, it's not like it needs to be just a couple syllables. That's like Don't Silence Tom. It's like 4 syllables. That's a long one.
Hashtag Kill Aiden.
Oh no! You're gonna get us shut down from Tumblr and all those other sites.
No. Hashtag Peacefully Kill.
Peacefully sunset.
Friendlyly kill.
In Minecraft with due process.
Of course. In Second Life even. So I think that's it for my top of the show stuff. I don't know about you.
Speaking of Second Life, if I had to live a second life, I might want to do it.
Nice.
As in a wizarding school and some type of thing. Now, we're going to just grab life by the horns, grab the bull by the horns, and just kind of ad-lib some things because I didn't prepare for this specific one, but we brought it up before. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a taste of Akashic Records because I don't know if you've read it. I know we talked about it a little bit. And we'll just kind of start off on not the opposite of a strong foot. We're going to start off on the weakest part.
I don't know if that's the best idea. I feel like you should save the weakest for like, not the end, because you want something good at the end, but maybe like the middle. The middle?
Well, that's what they do. If you remind me to talk about the middle being the weakest, that will completely go into another topic that we have. It's absolutely fantastic on our second thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What you are alluding, if you will.
Well, it's a secret. You got to watch the whole episode.
All right. Well, I will.
So, Akashic Records is basically this prim and proper young lady. She looks like she's 20 in the anime, so she's probably 13 or 14, realistically. They're wearing the outfits that are just pure embodiment of lust.
Right.
She's going into the school, and then she runs into this not homeless looking guy, but like he's uncoofed, his shirt's untucked, he's like doing all that stuff. Anyway, they run in together. They have the stereotypical Japanese like misunderstandings. Like I think he pushes her accidentally into a water fountain and like stares at her chest or something. I can't really remember. It's been a little while.
Of course, yeah.
But basically it's that.
And this is the teacher?
Yeah, he does like a sexual thing. Maybe he flirts with her just a little bit. Things like that. She gets perturbed. She's like, well, I'm just glad that I will never have to see him again. And wouldn't you know, he's their teacher. He's their homeroom teacher. Defense Against the Dark Arts, because this is a magic school. And he is...
Have you seen this show? Have you watched this? Or read it?
Well, I've read probably the first season.
Oh, wow.
In manga form. And so... his past adventures, he's like one of the country's top mage killers or wizard assassins or something like that.
Evil mage killers. That is to say, killer of evil mages, not a mage killer who is evil.
Well, yeah. So
James Pond.
Yeah, he's like a James Bond mixed with, I don't know.
You remember that? That game? It was like a James Bond ripoff, but he was a fish.
No, that sounds fun.
It looked like a cheap like platformer, like a back when like mascot platformers are almost popular still. Like they were already dead, but then James Pond came out.
Anyway, so this teacher, in the first little mini arc, the first couple episodes, you also find out that the tsundere girl, her friend, I think, is like a royal princess, or maybe she was the princess. I'm not entirely sure. The teacher picks on her and makes fun of her, like negging her and like teasing her, and they got all the tension of the will they, won't they, but they can't because he's the teacher, and he's
what I want to know. Just going back to this princess thing, has there ever in history been a graduating class from any single Japanese school that has not included at least one royal person?
No,
because it seems way too common.
Well, the Japanese culture is very intricate and very intellectual, whereas there are so many royal bloodlines there that the odds of finding one, if you hit somebody with a truck in Japan, odds are they're going to get isekai'd. If you pick up a cat
as royalty,
if you pick up a cat on the side of the road, odds that it will turn into a cat girl when you bathe it and feed it overnight, pretty high.
Is this only Japanese cats?
Yes, unfortunately. It only works. See, Japan is built on a ley line, which is where the anime dimension actually seeps through. What happened is in World War II, when we dropped those 2 bombs, it like shook a hole in the fabric of space-time and allowed the anime dimension to seep in, poisoning the minds of the Japanese, completely destroying their human forms, but allowing their mind to just bloom into what we now know as an otaku.
That would be a cool anime,
wouldn't it?
Where it's like the nukes actually like opened a rift to the anime dimension,
and I just made that up. Somebody give me I'll be the showrunner. Let's do this.
Yep, you sound very qualified.
Let's kickstart it.
Yep. Go to KickFundMe.
Anyway, I just know a little bit more about the Akashic Records. As far as I know, it doesn't have anything to do with the actual Akashic Records, which is like an occult style mind palace type thing that you would see in Sherlock, but it's one that is like...
Well, it contains all known information, or not even known, just like all information on anything ever, basically.
Right, but it's supposed to be in like a mental dimension, whereas you can only access it through deep meditation and unlocking your Kundalini chakras.
Yeah, you have to ride your Merkaba over to the Akashic dimension.
Fly the pyramids into the 11th dimension with Thoth.
Don't forget to activate your Christ consciousness.
Exactly. Anyway, there's a great scene that most people have probably seen where it's like he's trying to teach the tsundere girl a lesson and about magic, and he's like, words have absolute power even if they're not magic words, and she's like, nah, I don't believe you. And so he like leans in and comes in close, and he looks at her and he's like, from the moment we've met, I've been madly in love with you. And she turns all like, bright red and like almost passes out, and he's like, see, class, this is what happens. I destroyed her. I mind broke her with just my words.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Which is it was actually pretty funny. I enjoyed that. And so when I was reading the manga, I was like, hey, this is fun. I like it. Anyway, bad guys come to kidnap the princess, and I forget if it's her or her friend. Anyway, she gets caught in a room with one of the bad guys, and he's going to rape her, and like
this is that kind of show.
Well, the teacher's going to save her. He opens the door. Oh, I didn't know you guys were here. Carry on, because the dude's like leaning over her, like about to rip off her clothes, and because she's always been mean to him, so he plays with her and says, oh, he makes her think that he's just gonna leave her there, and she's like, no, don't leave me. And then he beats the magic dude and saves her, and then that's the point where slowly her tsundere turns into more dere, and it goes on like that. It's basically like that. It's fun. Yeah, it's trash, but it's the anime version of trash.
I feel like you skipped over the part that I was waiting for, which is like, how is this a magic school? How is it related to the topic at hand?
He teaches magics.
Okay.
Well, it's like a magic school. They're learning how to do fireballs. They're doing some conjures. It's not like a Harry Potter. It's more like a...
It's like the magic is incidental, it sounds like.
Yes, for the most part. It's a fantasy thing, but it also takes place in like modern day. So it's...
Like they have magic cell phones?
Yeah, they're at normal desks and things like that. It kind of reminds me of Index, where there's kind of magic in Index, but there's also science as well.
Well, they're two competing schools, is my understanding. The only thing I know about Index is that I watched a video from a YouTube guy, Giguk, I believe is his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he did a video explaining how he got into it and kind of what the world is, and that's all I know about it. But it sounds cool.
I got into it because Sparky, Railgun Girl, it's really cute. It's my type.
That's a good reason.
And she's another tsundere, yeah. And so basically, I read the first couple, not chapters, volumes of that. But then it got so boring, and I don't care about I wanted the rom-com. I didn't want like all the fighting and plot and garbage. So
see, that's the good stuff. That's what I would want.
Yeah, as soon as it went into that shonen stuff, I wasn't paying attention anymore. But what I did do is I've frequently sat down and watched hour compilations of the romantic scenes in the animes. So
that somehow sounds really pathetic.
Oh, it is.
You know, I mean, it's not like exceptionally so, but there's something about it that sticks out in my mind. It's like I watch hour-long compilations of will they, won't they scenes between two anime characters.
Well, to be fair, there's probably not an hour's worth of footage. They're normally like anywhere from 5 to 14 minutes, but I've watched them enough that each one I've probably watched about an hour. Yeah, which is arguably worse.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. Not very arguable. I mean, I think it's pretty conclusively worse.
I think that would be a great time to transfer from something that's worse to something that's unironically good. And
all right, so the best, I already know what it's going to be. And this isn't it. With the best magic girl, dude. Megumin. Dude, think of that.
I didn't even think about talking about Konosuba.
No, we've talked about Konosuba.
Because it's not a magic school.
Well, no, but she's a witch.
Yeah, but I feel like that's more high fantasy. I feel like the focus is like magic schools and like school life with like magic and traditional magic like witches. Brings us to one that's very popular. We're talking about Little Witch Planet by Tamagoro, which is a heart-touching coming-of-age adventure story of Rina and Yuka-chan as they attend class to become the world's best witch. What's so fascinating about this manga is the world building. Tamagoro really paints the world in a way you wish you were right there in the action.
What are you doing right now? I'm very confused. What is Little Witch Planet? I've never heard of this. Is this a meme?
My bad. I got one of the letters mixed up. I was reading the wrong manga. Here we go. My Little Witch Academia, which is a story about.
I'm so confused.
No, it's funny. It's funny. Okay. There's a manga called Little Bitch Planet.
Oh, okay. See, I've never even heard of that.
It's a deep cut for those of our friends who are probably going to be visited by Chris Hansen at some point.
I mean, it sounds like it would have been a really good joke had I got it, but...
Well, the passengers got it, and that's the important part.
I bet. It flew right over my head, like, in a separate plane. I don't know, I'm stretching that metaphor.
So we're talking about Little Witch Academia.
Boku no Witch Academia is the Japanese.
Watashi wa. We're talking about Boku no Pico.
What do you want to say about Little Witch Academia?
It's cool.
AKA, if Harry Potter were an anime and awesome.
And they were all little girls, like all cute little girls, is what they would be.
That's implied in the part where I said and awesome. Oh, and the anime part. Both of those imply that.
Oh, well, if you don't know what it is, you probably know what it is. It came out in like 2000, I want to say 9.
That's when the OVA, right?
Yeah, it was 27 minutes of like a complete story. It was just supposed to be a one-off. It said that there's a school where witches learn magic. It's called Luna Nova. Akko was enticed by the magical performances of the great witch Shiny Chariot to become a witch herself. And she's only a half-blood. Can a girl with no magical skills become a true witch? So basically, she's at Disney World and sees this performing witch come in with all these fanfares and like magic explosions, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's it! I want to be that." Which, to be fair, we would all want if magic were possible. Yeah, we all want to do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, well, everyone always says that, but I think realistically, I'm so lazy, I probably wouldn't.
We'd probably have a podcast about doing magic and not actually do it ourselves.
I don't like that implication there. True, or as true as it might be, I feel like it's very uncharitable, unshiny chariotable, if you will.
I get it. That's a pun. So I watched this. You can actually find this on YouTube. You can find the full thing there. Yeah.
Really?
It was absolutely great.
Shoot.
I just watched it because I wanted to get briefed for this episode, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great little time. The animation is fantastic. Akko, or should I say Aho, because she's an Aho girl. She's a little Panketsu type deal that in the end actually does become, a little witch herself.
She was the Little Witch Academia the whole time. I actually haven't seen the OVA. I've seen the whole season like of the anime, but I haven't seen the original OVA. when you say at the end she becomes like magic or whatever, how does that manifest itself in the show?
So it's basically the same way what happens in, I watched a few episodes of the actual anime last night as well, but they kind of blurred together. So at the end, she is able to use Chariot's staff to fly.
The shiny rod.
Yeah, the shiny rod instead of flying on a normal broom, because she can't fly very well on a normal broom.
Okay, yeah.
So she defeats the dragon and saves the ice crystal, and everybody wins.
Yeah, and this is kind of spoilers for the anime, but she never really learns how to do like any magic reliably until maybe the very end, last like post-credit scene where it's implied that she can finally do like something kind of cool. She spends like most of the whole show
Punketsu.
Only able to do like 1 or 2 spells, and poorly at that.
She is truly the Aho. She's a cute little girl. She's got the great disposition about it. She's like, I don't want to be no normal witch, especially since
normie, no filthy normie.
Yes, normies get out of my academia. She wants to be the best,
but she is the normie.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah, she's the normie.
She's a self-hating normie.
In comparison, well, when you're surrounded by fedora tipping mages, the normie is the outsider.
Yeah,
think about that. Really activates your almonds.
I don't know about how much in depth the show went into the other characters, but pretty much they're all garbage. I would say Akko's like 11 out of 10, and everyone else is like a 1 out of 10. So it kind of balances out to be a decent cast overall.
So you've got like this reverse trap girl.
Who's that?
Who is kind of like the bookworm.
Oh, like
she's
the mushroom one, Sushi or Susie or whatever.
Susie, yeah, Suki. It's like Succi.
Yeah, sucky. give me that sucky.
Give me the suck.
Give me the zuck. And then he's like, well, I don't know what that means.
She can give me the sucky, but not really. Yeah, give me the... and then he said, if you let me know what that means, I can try and help you out. Give me the zuck.
Back when I was a human. I mean, I still am a human. Good old Zuckerberg. Mr. Mark Robot Zuckerberg.
I still am, yeah. I mean, anyway, she's an okay character. She's just kind of a bookworm. She's, standard. There's another girl. There's like an alchemist, like a potions master, and she likes all the poison potions, and she's kind of like ecstasy, aka darks.
Wait, that's Susie.
No.
Maybe they have a slightly different cast in the OVA. You're talking where she looks like she crawled out of some kind of like what's that one show called with the thing?
Suki is the potions master, and she's from the Philippines, so she's Pinoy. She's strongest race.
What?
Yeah.
No.
She specializes in brewing potions with various bizarre effects, and of course she uses Akko as the test subject and helps her gather poisonous things and all things like that. And she'll throw Akko in particular in front of like a hazard to distract the dragon while she goes and plucks a feather and gets the stuff for the potions. They're kind of like rivals, and the only really thing I know about Saki and Aho is that they're the 2 stars of most of the Yuri Fuda dojins.
Interesting. Well, she, at least in the show, she's obsessed with mushrooms, so I could see the correlation there.
Oh, I didn't, before I watched the show, I didn't get that, but now that makes a lot of sense.
Now you do. Now your experience has become enriched. You are welcome.
It's like when you learn something new, sometimes it retroactively changes your past.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what happened here. I feel like everything's clicking into place. I feel like at the end of a movie where somebody just revealed to me the twist, like I've been dead the whole time and I'm the ghost.
Well, I mean, you've been dead inside, if that counts, but that's not much of a twist.
Very true. The reverse trap that I was talking about is named Loli or Lotte. I can't pronounce her.
She's not a reverse trap. I mean, she's pretty girlish looking.
That's a reverse trap. She's like a tomboy.
Yeah, but she wears the skirt.
Yeah, okay. But she's got like the boy haircut that's like, and it's not like the normal Japanese bowl cut.
Yeah, true. She reminds me of Chucky from
yes,
Rugrats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's
I don't like her either because of that. Yeah.
She's kind of the bookworm. Saki is the mischievous alchemist.
In the show, she's into In the show, she watches, or rather, she reads like the Twilight equivalent.
Yes, in fact, I saw a Digibro video about that, I believe.
What was it? Like, what was it about?
So basically, I think he was talking about a roundabout video where he was saying what makes good storytelling and how he's drawing parallels between how all the different writings of that Twilight equivalent novel, and it also takes on different types of novels, like the Warrior series and things like that, and all different types of cool stuff, and then how it does narrative through all that. You're gonna have to watch Digibro yourself for it, because I don't exactly know.
Right, well, maybe I will.
What's great about this show, the characters are fun. You know, Aho's great, Akko's great. What I actually really like, and
she's better than great, dude. She's like a waifu candidate, I would say.
I have to watch more to verify that, but
because she's got the shonen spirit. That's what it's all about.
You mean the masculine spirit?
No.
You're saying you like, dude? No, I'm trolling you.
No.
I know what you mean.
You know, she wants to get good and will stop at nothing to get good.
Well, that is a very masculine trait, but
I guess it is, but it manifests it in a not masculine. Yeah, exactly.
In a cute way. But what's so cool about this? This is what really makes a good anime or a good movie to me, a good story, is the world building. And yeah, it gives you just enough to know, like, wow, that is really interesting piece of little tidbit. I want to see what their world's twist on everything is. So like they have brooms that you can fly on normally, but get this, they pulled out like a handheld broom, and it looks like a little flashlight that they hold upright, and they can like lower themselves in on that. Like they're just holding like a little flashlight, and it's like, yeah, and they're floating. So it's like a little parachute that they use. Imagine like you're taking an umbrella in a cartoon and you're using that to float down. That's kind of what they were doing with these portable brooms. It was so cool.
I don't remember this from the show at all. So it was kind of like they don't fly them, but like it's like a glider for when you need to descend or something.
You know, like if you hold up your phone to take a selfie,
sure,
like forward and in the mirror, it's kind of like that position where you're like, or you're holding a soda can or something, and you're like, it's hard to describe, but that's what was so cool about it. I'd never seen that interpretation on like a portable broom to like lower yourself down like a ditch before. I was like, wow, okay. It's almost like a tech thing. It almost, because it glows a little bit. So I was like, wow, they have like really cool gadgets here. They have alchemy. They have like gadgeteering.
They get deep into that in the second half of the show, to where like one character brings in like science, and like she has like magic augmented by science or vice versa, and it's like really cool tech and stuff. Instead of a broom, dude, this is hilarious. Like once I figured it out, which took me, a minute or two, longer than it should have, but she flies around on a Roomba.
Oh my god. See, that's the type of charm. This is an absolutely fantastic anime.
Yeah.
It's quirky in a good way. It's got tons of character.
And I really like the exaggerated motions and like faces and stuff that like they do, like because this is Trigger, right? The dudes who did
yes,
like Gurren Lagann and
everything great.
What's the one with the scissors and the nakedness?
Kill la Kill. They also did Gunbuster, Diebuster, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, I mean, to me, they're known for their exaggerated, like, cool explosions and stuff, but also like all the cool animations with all the different character poses and such.
Oh, you know what? I don't think they did Gunbuster, Diebuster. So don't.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Oh, well, you know what they did do? They did Darling in the Franxx.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I haven't seen that though because it's garbage.
It's basically like cuckolding the anime.
Is it really?
It's like teenage romance cucking. Like it's really, really weird. I didn't want to get into that. I don't need to stir up any weird feelings.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
No, although the main character in Franxx looks good. She looks cute.
Well, no, here's the thing with that. Because I did try to watch it when it came out because I thought, oh, this looks like it could be high budget or whatever. And I think I watched maybe the full first episode. But I could already tell the dynamic is something that I don't want to enjoy, or that I can't enjoy.
So because she's like more dominant?
Well, not just more dominant, but like he's a super beta boy and she's like completely dominant. And it's like, that's not a fantasy that I want to experience,
It's a very popular fantasy, especially in Japan. It's almost like a wish fulfillment. So this is how I kind of think of it. Why wouldn't you want, like, and you kind of said this too with when we had the Magical Girls episode, like a magical girl that has a lot of.
This is the Magical Girls episode.
You kind of said this too in the Monster Girl episode where you wanted a magical type. I don't know why you're laughing. I'm going to edit that out. But
well, you can. I don't think you should. I think you should leave it.
If you yourself aren't special, you can be special vicariously through having a like magical girlfriend or a powerful girlfriend or something like that. And you don't have to be special or charismatic to go on an adventure, because you're defaulting. You're basically taking the female mindset of passiveness and letting your girlfriend be the man in the relationship, carry you through an adventure. And that's a super popular thing in Japan. Of
course, with all the herbivores, as they're called. And I get it, like, completely. It's just, I don't want to encourage that. And I don't want to, I wouldn't want anyone to watch that and then have that feeling.
There's also this side to it as well. A beta MC makes even beta people in real life feel a little bit better, because they're like, even I wouldn't be that gay about it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, imagine if you were to self-insert as the other dude, and Franks is coming on to you, and he's like, oh, I don't like, girls are icky, and you're like, nah, like, if I was him, I'd be,
no, girls aren't icky.
I'd be doing whatever to her. So it's kind of like you can insert that way. You don't have to even live up to the MC character. I don't know. It's a interesting philosophical Freudian debate.
I hear your defenses right now, and to me, it sounds like somebody defending NTR by saying, just insert as the bull.
That doesn't make any sense. Everybody knows in every doujin you insert as the woman.
Okay, well, that's a similarly bad argument.
I'm joking. Yeah, I'm joking. It's
I'm sure you are. I'm sure. Sounded like a joke, so
everybody inserts as the little girl.
Of course, yeah.
That's normal.
Well, should we get back to the little girls and I have a question about the OVA again with the cast. Did they have the blonde girl whose name I can't remember right now?
The Cynthia one?
Oh yeah, she's like super talented and stuff.
Oh, it's Diana, I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
they did have her.
All right, yeah. Well, you hadn't mentioned her, so I was curious because like she's a pretty big rival role in the show.
Yeah, she's like the Gary to Akko's Ash.
Yes, perfect.
Akko wants to be a wizard or a witch because she saw a famous performer, but in the real magical world, the performer's looked down on because she's not doing, real magic or things like that.
I thought that was a really cool twist too.
Yeah, Akko's always defending Shiny
Chariot
because she saw her as a little girl, and Diana's always making fun of her for it. But here's the big twist. So spoilers, whatever. Diana also likes Chariot, but she just doesn't like to admit it.
Yeah. And in the show that took the form of, or like one of the supporting evidences or whatever it was, she collected her trading card and like kind of carried it around with her, or kept it somewhere safe. I don't remember. And something else, kind of going back to like the world building thing, something that I bet wasn't at all covered in the OVA was the character Andrew. Was he in there?
I don't think so. If he is, I can't remember.
So I'm going back off of memory because I didn't have the time to like rewatch the show or anything. But I'm pretty sure he's like basically like the heir apparent to like a rich family, and this family's actually like one of the main funders of the Luna Nova Academy. So he's
a pretty boy.
He is infrequently, yeah, and like he'll take tours with his dad or whatever. Like if his dad is there, like trying to get them to cough up money. Because as a school, they are hemorrhaging cash and they're going out of business, basically. So it's like, yeah. You would think a magic school, though, would have more.
Well, yeah, they have alchemy. Make some gold. They have dragons and stuff. Like, come on.
Well, one of the things is that with the increase of technology just in the outside world, magic became less and less useful. That's the in-canon explanation. Obviously, magic could do a whole lot more, but I guess they had to add in some drama. And in fact, there was a dragon that they met one time, and instead of hoarding like tons and tons of gold, he's like a Bitcoin millionaire or whatever. Basically, he has like a huge like setup with all these different screens, trading
That's funny.
stocks. And all
I can't
that.
wait to watch more of this.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you should. It's just nice little takes on that. Anyway, so the Andrew character is basically like kind of the love triangle type dude. I don't even remember how much of it is a triangle, but he crushes on Akko, I think.
Oh, but she doesn't like him?
And she actually might. I really don't remember anymore now that I'm thinking about it. But I feel like Diana's involved somehow too. I don't know. You'll have to watch the show. See, this is all. I really do remember it all. I just don't want to spoil it.
All right, good enough. Good enough.
That's what we'll say. But he goes to like some academy or something that like doesn't allow witches, I think.
It's gender segregated.
It might be because I think it's mostly dudes there that they show.
Because there's only girls at this witch academy. I mean, witch academy. It's a witch.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's in the name. But yeah, I think his might be like for only pretty rich boys only, his school.
They're all private schools.
But I like the dynamic where it's like witches are looked down upon by like this rich elite class. So it's like, I don't know, like at one point Akko sneaks in for some stupid plot contrivance. She has to like not get caught, but I think, I don't know, man. I can't remember the story. There's like fights and stuff. Whatever. It's good. It's good. You'll have to watch it, and then you'll know what I'm talking about, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Like we talked about it started with like a full-on OVA. Well, they call it like anime film because I think OVA you have to be like also part of a manga series or something, like a full
maybe,
anime.
Yeah.
So this is like a full standalone film that was like 2013, I believe. So
is this what an ONA is? To answer the question from like months ago.
Original Netflix adaptation. I don't know.
Yes.
But that leans into what else I'm saying. It's also a manga, yeah. But it also is the anime TV series, which you can find on Netflix. You can do Netflix/BG for you. No, I'm
I don't think so.
But yeah.
But try it anyway. It might work.
And then I think there are 2 different actual movies, or maybe just one movie. It's like a 60-minute movie. So
really,
I don't know if that's a real movie. I think that's just like a special. It's called.
Hey, even then.
Yeah. So okay, I was wrong. There's only one movie, and it's about 50 minutes long. It's called The Little Witch Academia: The Enchanted Parade. And I haven't seen that, but
a quick question then, because that might have been years and years ago. I watched the beginning part of what I thought was the 30-minute OVA. How did that one start? Because the one that I watched, they were like the main cast and they were in school already. Yes. And they were planning like a party or something.
If they were planning a party, that's probably the Enchanted Parade.
Interesting. So even back then, what I thought I was watching wasn't what I was watching.
Oh yeah, who knows? Now I was talking about things going back in the past, changing your entire reality. There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Truly a magical phenomenon.
There's also apparently a video game. It's called Little Witch Academia Chamber of Time. That's like the Chamber of Secrets. Is
it like a light novel?
I'm not entirely sure.
Or, I mean, a visual novel?
It's on PS4. The animation kind of reminds me of... It's not Melty Blood. What is it? Skullgirls. I could see like these characters being in like a Skullgirls thing.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, they have kind of similar-ish character designs somehow. I can't articulate why.
So the PS4 game is a side-scrolling action game.
Skip.
It's a 3D adventure style exploration of the school and a 2.5D action mode involving magical labyrinth with all 3 characters.
How do you have a 2.5D labyrinth? That's the thing that you want to be 3D.
No, it means like the character models and stuff are all 3D.
No, I know, but then it's a 2D side-scroller labyrinth. That sounds like terrible.
That's a Metroid, maybe.
Have you ever... Oh, okay, I guess that could work, actually. I was picturing
some of the most famous game series ever, like Metroidvania,
whatever.
most beloved franchises.
I was thinking, you probably have never heard of or seen this game. It's an RPG Maker game called Lisa.
Yes.
And okay, that's what I pictured. You're familiar with how that works, where it's like a side scroller world, but it's still grid based RPG movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
That's kind of what I was picturing, and that sounded terrible.
You know what I want? I kind of want like a what's the Pokemon Dungeon?
Oh, Mystery Dungeon. It's not a Pokemon series. It's Mystery Dungeon's like a huge, long-running series.
I played the Etrian Odyssey Mystery Dungeon. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I hate them. Let me
rephrase it. It was okay. It was okay for what I paid for it.
Well, both Mystery Dungeon and Etrian Odyssey are series that I just can't get into. They're too much for me.
You know, when I first marathoned
what?
Oh my god. It's a hole.
What is it? A hole?
Yeah, big hole. Labyrinth.
Made in Abyss?
Yeah, when I first marathon Made in Abyss, like I wanted so badly to play a video game version of it. So people were recommending Etrian Odyssey, so I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like dungeon crawling."
Oh yeah.
It's not nearly as exciting as talk about world building. Is Made in Abyss is just freaking amazing. I wish there was more like that.
I think I'm playing something like it. We just started a second D&D campaign, me and the guys, and it feels like so much like Made in Abyss. Like you go down a hole and then there's like huge worlds and stuff down there, almost maybe even societies. We've only gotten to the first level, so I don't know.
Okay, next Minecraft, I'm telling you, just make a Made in Abyss game. It can be voxel based, but not like crafting and things like that. It can have crafting and digging and things like that. But like somehow encapsulate the feeling of you can't go back up without suffering damage, and the deeper you go, the more dangerous it gets, and you have to like pool resources and survive. It's almost like a roguelike where you have to survive off the land. Oh man, I would be really excited about that. And then like you said, there's cities and stuff down there. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, now I want to play that. Shoot.
Too bad it doesn't exist. That's what you can make. We can start the big guy for you, Game Dev Studios.
Yeah,
I'll launch the Kickstarter tonight, and then we can have the $250,000 funding maybe by next week.
Yeah, I can't even find the time to scan late, let alone make a video game. Not to mention the talent required. All right, well, we've gone pretty deep into this abyss of tangents, so let me kind of climb our way back up with a quick little 30-second one. You know, I've been watching those Danganronpas. I've been watching somebody stream through the games. I've made it to the third game now, and one of the characters is the ultimate magician. Wait, no, the ultimate mage, but technically the ultimate magician. And
what's the difference?
Well, she calls herself a mage, meaning implying like magic and stuff. But I think the real title is magician, implying like it's not magic, it's illusions, Michael. Like that kind of thing. That kind of magic.
No, I'm the first analyst and a therapist and a rapist.
What about it's like, what was it in like one of the newer seasons where he hands the card to someone and she's like, "Oh, a nowrapist." And then he's like,
yeah, like the one person to get it is
like,
like, "Oh yes, thank you."
And then what was the license plate? Because he said something like, "How would you read the license plate?" Something.
It was like a-hole or something, or like it was like star butthole. It was something pretty flamboyantly gay.
Yeah, it was.
Like everybody was honking his horn. All the gay guys were honking his horn at him and things like that.
Yeah. Anyway, we've veered out of my tangent defense topic, but I'll go back to it. So far, she's best girl. That's all I had to say. And I'm really upset that the streamer I'm watching, he says she's worst girl, and it's like, dude, I've been kind of in tune with your taste for the first two games. I don't know how you could do this. Like, how could you be so wrong? Like, how could you be right twice and then wrong the third time? It's very confusing.
She's kind of got that not Panketsu, but Chuni.
She's a little bit Chuni, yeah. That's half of the appeal.
Well, I think our passengers agree. We've all kind of got the same taste here.
Anyway, hopefully now we have a better topic to tangent back into.
So, what kind of made me think of this topic is I recently watched a normie movie, or should I say, a cat lady movie. I watched the new Harry Potter that came out. It's like Fantastic Beasts and #2 Electric Boogaloo type deal.
Right.
So, everybody probably knows what Harry Potter is. Not everybody knows what the new prequels are. It's like Fantastic Beasts. It follows somebody else. Yeah, so I'll give you a little rundown. It follows somebody else in the magical world of right before the World Wars. It's like I think it's 1920. So we're coming up on the Second World War, I think. Is that right?
I think the First World War was, 15 to 19? Does that sound right?
Maybe.
No, I don't know. They only teach you World War II in school.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And that one was 42 to 45, at least for the American.
My favorite class was Holocaust class.
It's definitely pre-World War II.
Anyway, it takes place. Yeah, it takes place right before World War II, and it follows like he's kind of not an outcast, not a vagabond, but he's kind of like a guy who like plays by his own rules. He's outgoing, he's charismatic, and it follows a little ginger kid who comes over to New York, and accidentally his magical beasts fall out of his briefcase, and they cause a ruckus, and he has to go.
What are magical beasts? Like the owls and rats?
So like
he's a tiny dragon? Well, it falls out of his briefcase? What?
Yeah, and like some dragons and things that turn invisible, and he's got one. No, it's a big dragon, so it's a magic briefcase, so they can come in and out. He also has a giant like rhinoceros thing that like escapes and tramples around. It's funny. He's also got and I'm not making this up. It's a little tiny mole with a big little snout, and it escapes to steal gold and valuables out of people's pockets, and it just loves gold, and it steals it, and it hoards it, and it buries it, and it opens trust funds, and it commits usury and all sorts of things. And so he keeps that with him.
Sounds like the goblins. What was Greenblatt Bank or whatever?
Greenstein Blatt Banks, yes. But this little mole just loves gold and things like that, and he escapes. And he's a cute little guy, unlike anything that he might resemble in real life. But anyway, they escape, and then in the end, there's basically a wizard nationalist who's the bad guy, who's the new Voldemort, because J.K. Rowling doesn't really know how to write anything pretty well.
Well, he would be the old Voldemort, because he predates
Yeah,
Voldemort.
Well, to us, he's the new stuff. He's tired of like living in secret from all the muggles and things like that. So he's like
all the normies.
Yeah, he doesn't want to live around normies. So he's like, us wizards, we can just live our own stuff. We don't have to deal with all the normies. And people don't like that. The government, the wizard government doesn't like that, and all things like that. Anyway, the first movie of that was pretty decent. It had some things in there where I was like, but overall, what's great about that movie, what's great about the other Harry Potters, and is the exact same thing that we were talking about with Aho Girl and The Little Witch Academia, is just the fact that, I'm doing that on purpose.
I bet. Yeah, no, I know it.
Saying her name. Yeah. It's the world building, and the world building is so cool because you'll see that little thing with the floating portable broom that lowers them down, and you're like, wow, what an interesting world. They have intricate things. They don't handhold you things. They don't sit down and explain it. Now, this is a portable broom. They explain it by showing you, and they explain by showing you just the magical bureaucratic world of wizardry, which is actually pretty interesting. And just how things work, like how his briefcase works, how like the magic spells and the rules of the world are always very fascinating. So I had a good time. I just recently watched the first one. I legally procured a DVD and watched that, and I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, what? A DVD? I've never heard of such a thing.
I'm memeing anyway. Anytime I say legally is meme anyway. So
I'm memeing too, so there you go. You've been counter-memed.
Anyway, so I saw that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, hey, the new one's coming out. And I was like, wait, it already came out. But I haven't heard anything about it.
Nice.
I'm like, so why? Lo and behold,
Because you didn't listen to the Flight Plan episode about Magic Schoolgirl animes, duh.
Apparently the new one is garbage, and I watched it last night. Complete trash. I wanted an excuse to rant about this to somebody. So the movie sucks in a really bad way. There's a myriad of problems with the movie. Or they retcon basically the entire ending of the first Fantastic Beasts, and they even retcon things in the original mainline Harry Potter.
Wait a second. Didn't you say that this is one book turned into 5 movies? How do you retcon something from the last movie? It's all in the same book.
Because J.K. Rowling is a hack. She's a hack.
Well, she's not doing the movies.
Yes, she is.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's like the screenwriter and like not the director, but she took a heavier lead in these than she did her last ones.
Well, I just don't get that. How do you retcon your own previous chapter, basically?
I don't understand. I don't know. Like, the fans don't know. They don't understand. They're devastated. I was watching some videos on YouTube about this. People are devastated. They're like crying because the movie, like Harry Potter fanatics are like, oh, how is this so bad? Like, and then it's like, apparently...
And Star Wars fans are just like looking, oh, you sweet children, you know nothing yet.
Yeah, it's the horror that's about to come. In fact, there was a huge outcry because in the theaters, one of the things was, don't be a Hufflepuff, turn your phone off during the movie theater, like a commercial.
Although,
and like apparently the Hufflepuff crowd is like really legit. Yeah. So it's like they got really upset. Like there was a big outcry. They're like, you're calling like 1/4 of your houses like retarded, like completely bad. So the power level BS in this is completely ridiculous. Like Voldemort was like super powered before. Harry Potter didn't have, like, he was still amazing, but he wasn't like god level Master Chief killing the Covenant in like one flick of the wrist. Dumbledore's in this, and Grindelwald, which is the main bad guy, are destroying cities like with just a flick of the wand, and it's like it doesn't make any sense there, and there's no real plot to this movie. It's just exposition. They introduce 20 different characters, but there's no main story in the middle. So it's like they want you to all be like emotionally weighted to like 20 different characters that they don't introduce at all. Some of the main characters in the movie have like 3 scenes. And then they die, and then it's like you're supposed to feel like tragic loss from them. It's like, I don't even know this person's name. They introduce somebody towards the end of the movie, and then they do an exposition dump to explain their entire history, so you're supposed to care about them, and then they die, and then it's like they play all the sad music, like, oh my god, no. And it's like, I don't even know who this is. It's like a womp womp. Exactly. It takes place in Paris. The last one took place in New York. This one's in Paris. There's no French people. There are no French people.
That's anachronistic.
Like, and I'm not even memeing to say that they're all Muslims. Yeah, I'm not even memeing to say that, but like they're all British. They're all like the British police are in France. It doesn't make sense. Where are the French police?
Well, I guess this is a British fantasy because, you know, there's always been a rivalry between the two groups. So this is J.K. Rowling's way of kind of sticking it to the French and saying, hey, look, we've taken over you in the 20s. I don't know.
One of my favorite TV shows is called Yes Minister. It's a British TV show about government. And one day the minister's talking to somebody else. He's like, we don't know who could be listening. And they're like, oh, you mean our enemies like Russia? And he's like, oh, heavens no, I'm talking about our real enemies, the French. So it's funny like that. But back to this magic school. I mean, they show the magic schools because there's a school in like each continent.
Yeah, I always liked that too. I love that idea where it's like, because there wouldn't just be one magic school, you know, there would be multiple.
Exactly. And they have a little bit of a rivalry too, which is fun. So we hear a little bit about the American one, but the other ones are like super duper racist. There's one in Brazil that is like a golden pyramid, like out of the Incas and shit like that. It's super racist. And then there's the one in Africa is made out of sand. It's a mud hut. It's a mud hut school.
No, it's not.
Yes. Can you believe that?
No.
Dude,
way.
I mean, and I can't believe I'm the one saying like it's so blatantly, because J.K. Rowling is like a super hardcore liberal, so she doesn't understand what she's saying is like racist. But
talking about magic schools from all across the world and stuff, I do want to kind of tie this back to some kind of anime related thing, and this just came to mind. Remember, it might have even been last week when I was talking about that German names like Mädchen or whatever, where they're books basically, magic schoolgirls with the power of books. Like the main girl is Cinderella, for example. So they're all based on like famous books, and they have like a school per country basically, and then there's like a tournament every so many years between all the different schools. What I really liked is that the American school has like, I guess there isn't enough famous folklore and literature from America. So I mean, because we're a relatively young country, and one of them was basically like Star Wars.
yeah, that's great.
like they were taken from like pop culture and stuff.
We've got a lot of good ones though. Like we've got.
Well, no, I know, but like
Johnny Appleseed,
of course, and Johnny Appleseed,
George Washington.
Yeah. He's not a book; he was a person. Steve Jobs.
I feel like Steve Jobs is going to be like a JoJo stand one day.
I mean, he's not a music reference, so probably not. But I hope so.
My stand, the Woz.
Yeah, the Woz. Oh, okay. I'll get back to it now. We've been too sidetracked, but one of the antagonists, maybe even the main antagonist, the show didn't go on long enough for me to find out. But one of like the central problems was the American schools wanted to create hybrid books. Basically, I think that's what it was. Where it's like they're like genetically engineering different books and stuff and using like science, because these are all magic books, but they're like trying to scientifically like fuse books. And I thought that was such a cool idea of like, not only do you have different schools, but it's like they're different. They have their own different like national
magics and
mindsets and stuff, and like different ethics.
So it's like the movie, like the novel of The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise as a samurai in Japan. So it's like if you combined magic schools.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't even think they ever gave an example. The show didn't make it that far before I guess it got canceled.
Oh, that's too bad.
But yeah.
Well,
but I like the idea of that, like making up your own magic story or even combining them.
Well, this is a cool little segue. I'm going to segue both Harry Potter into the Magic Little Witch Academia and even that one, where someone was explaining that these magic series are fun because there are set rules, and it's like that's the world that's like interesting. So in like Harry Potter, wands only worked this way, like etc. And like you had your Patronus and things like that, and there were laws.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like it's Wingardium Leviosa, not Wingardium Leviosa. It has rules. Which
will finish up my rant on Harry Potter because this latest one basically retcons and introduces new mechanics and stuff. So it's like. What used to be fun is people figuring out like they knew all the rules. All the rules were the same in the Harry Potter until now. And now they're like changing meta things. And it's like nobody even uses their wands. Nobody recites spells. Nobody wears robes. They just teleport. Yeah.
What? They teleport? Yeah. They don't even use wands?
Yeah, they just blow around. They fly around. It's completely crazy. And
I thought it was bad enough in the later movies where they weren't even chanting and they were just like flicking the wand basically and shooting out lightning, but they didn't even say anything. I thought that was stupid.
They changed Newt. The main dude went from an adventurous rebel to basically an autistic person who can't talk to girls. So I mean, that's a real self-insert.
Hey, that's representation in media. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. So other than multiple world-breaking canon retcons and a completely garbage movie plot, everything like that, the effects were cool.
Nice.
Don't watch the new Harry Potter. It's completely trash.
I want to watch it now.
But what is cool, and I feel like this would be a great little segment to like, what type of familiar would you want if you were in your magic school? So in Harry Potter, the examples were cat, owl, rat, frog, or you can think D&D familiar, like elemental or anything like that. So what are you thinking?
Right. I want to think of what I forgot what it was called. Zero no Tsukaima. I want to do that, but gender bent. The one where she had a pink hair and she summoned a human male as her familiar. I want that, but I want a human girl.
You mean from Zero no
That's
Tsukaima?
what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you cut out for me. But yeah, absolutely. So you want a human female, a teenage female to be your familiar.
Yes. And actually, just as a quick aside before you give your answer, in Danganronpa 3, the one with the magic girl, there's like a Easter egg kind of thing you can do where it's I think it's non-canon, but you go on like a date basically with any one of the characters, and like they see you as their ideal. And hers was that you are a familiar that she summoned or created from a wolf, I think, and now she's fallen in love with you.
I like it.
So that's a similar theme.
I like it. I don't know if you know the answers to these all things, but I actually went to the official Pottermore website, which is like the main canon repository of Harry Potter, and they have quizzes that will tell you.
Well, hold on. What familiar do you want? You can't avoid that question. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you. You can take. Actually, it's a Patronus.
What's a Patronus?
Is the thing I did, but they also ask you for familiar. A Patronus is like Harry Potter's is like a deer, so it's like their spirit animal. The quiz was okay. I'll go through all my answers for the quizzes, since I have them here anyway. The first quiz that they give you is what Harry Potter house are you going to be in?
How many did you take? How many quizzes?
There's like four quizzes. And this quiz was actually decent because like all the other ones, if you go to like watch quizmojo.com or whatever.
Quizmojo.com. Let's go register that.
I literally took a test where it's like, what's your favorite color? And it picks the 4 colors of the houses. And I'm like, are you serious? And then the last question was even more audacious. I kid you not. The last question was, which house do you want to be in? Like, really? You're going to, like, are you serious? Like, it just picks that. Anyway, my house was Gryffindor, so I'm the MC.
Yeah, you probably got Hufflepuff, and that's why you brought up that whatever earlier.
No, it said the quiz was, it gave me House Gryffindor with a black cat as a familiar. I took the Patronus test, and I didn't know what any of the options are, but it gives you like, it's kind of like a little game where you have to click the right answer. It's like, which way do you go, left, right, or up? It's like a little walking simulator thing. Anyway, I got that, and then what do you know? I got a Russian blue cat. So I got cat again. So there's like a thing going on there of a psychic vibe. And get this. So the place I'm staying at right now has a Russian blue cat in it, and it's adopted me as the alpha cat in the house. So it doesn't like want to be in a different room than me. So I have a real life Patronus, a real life familiar that's following me around, and it's the same thing that the Harry Potter quiz said it was going to be. Talk about crazy.
Wow, that's probably like the cringiest thing I've heard in a good long while. And
it's not cringy, it's just a coincidence.
It's a shame that got left out of the Chunibyo episode, because that's very appropriate for that one. My Patronus is the bald eagle, and my familiar is.
You want to talk about like
girl.
Bald eagle Patronus? So they also have House Illimore, which is the American house, and they have different houses.
Whoa!
What do you mean, whoa?
I never would have considered that for some reason. But
yeah, they have different houses. Anyway, I took the quiz there, so I'm in House Thundermore, founded by Chadwick. Literally, I'm in the house of Chad Thundercock.
No, it's
I swear to God. I'm Chad Thundercock, confirmed. Like,
does J.K. Rowling know? Is she our guy?
She's our guy. Like, dude, I saw that and I bust out laughing. Thundermore is founded by Chadwick, like Chad Thunderwick.
What's their animal or symbol or whatever?
Named by Chadwick Boot after his favorite magical beast, the Thunderbird, a beast that can create storms as it flies.
God bless America, the greatest country on earth. And if you're not from here, I'm sorry.
I think it's from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, where the dude that's in full American garb, he's like, "Get out of my country." It's like, "But we're in Japan." He's like, "Every country belongs to America."
He's right.
And he's not wrong. Spot the lie.
Lie not detected.
Oh, and the last quiz was, what wand are you? And my wand is a 12-inch dragon dildo. I mean, dragon heartstring.
Cool. Yeah. Just as
it described it as springy and flexible.
No.
It did. Oh, J.K. Rowling's like memeing with her site.
Oh, these are official website quizzes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is official. This is Pottermore, so this is like the big. It's considered Harry Potter canon.
So now you are part of Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
You did it.
They're actually inviting me to star in Harry Beasts 3.
As, playing the role of the Harry Beast.
Yes. and I kill all the other characters.
Nice. Well, that's why they can't teleport and stuff in the future, because you kill them all.
You know what I imagine? There's the Penny Arcade comic where he's doing WoW quests, where it's like, "Please save me." He's like, "Sorry, man, I only needed to free 5 slaves." And he's like, "Please, every night I'm raped to sleep by the dick wolves." And he's like, "Hey, man, don't make this weird."
Yeah, don't make this weird.
That's my Patronus is the dick wolf.
Yep, I thought it was a cat, but close enough.
Well, that's about it for my notes.
Yep, so that was our Harry Potter episode. We did it.
Harry Potter, magical girls. It's
not what I expected, but that's part of the fun, the twist.
Well, you never know what it's gonna get.
Yep. So tell them where they can listen to more Harry Potter fan fiction.
Hey, we need all of our awesome passengers to like, subscribe, share, hit that little bell icon on the YouTube. That's
on PewDiePie's channel, but also ours.
But also on Grand A.
I don't know who Grand A is.
I've seen you a bunch of his memes. He did he's done a lot of them.
Okay.
You would
I'll
know.
keep an eye out.
You can also find us on anchor.fm/theflightplan, and each one of those has a little dash in between it. Mm-hmm. You can find us on MANGA Decks. Search for the group, Big Guy Scanlations, and you can leave a comment there. Any comment that you leave on the YouTube, we'll read out loud, unless you specifically don't want us to. Even if you want a shout out, you want us to shout something out, just leave a comment. Maybe we will.
I'm gonna shout out. You know that dude who said he wanted to read the next Antarctica Girls? I'll shout him out when I finally release this 5-month late chapter.
Oh no! Well, hopefully it'll be out soon.
Yeah, it should be out. I don't know when this episode's coming out. Maybe same day. No promises. Yeah, and there's also the Gab and the Twitters. Big Guy for You. Numeral 4, letter U. Twitter's actually Big Guy for You scans. Can you believe it? Big Guy for You was taken.
Oh, I can't believe it. It's almost like it's a very popular meme that we're riding the coattails off of.
And have nothing to do with.
What is the flight plan? Oh, what is it? Like, we have 3 things that don't make any sense together.
Yeah, well, we do have one thing that kind of fits the meme, though.
What's that?
Well, every week we like to crash this podcast with no survivors.
With no survivors.